Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a wig review for May Wigs. This is Bobby from May Wigs, and she is a pre-order on the website. I have some things that I really love about this wig, and I have some things that were a bit of a miss for me. So if you are interested in this brand or considering buying from May Wigs and you want to know more about May Wigs, then please stay tuned, and as always, hit that bell, give me a thumbs up, don't forget to subscribe, and I've got this wig review coming right up. Today I'm talking about May Wigs, and this is the wig Bobby that is a pre-order on her site. A couple amazing things about this wig are the cap fit, the hairline is just impeccable, as if you've seen any content on reviews from May Wigs or from customers, they always talk about her amazing hairlines, and the hairlines really are great. This particular wig is her 16-inch, and so as you can see, it's very long. So when you see that a 16-inch is going to run this long, you have to know that they're measuring from the nape and not the crown. Now, well, I won't say most, a lot of human hair brands, predominantly the luxury human hair brands, they measure from the crown. So a 16-inch is like this long when measuring from the crown. When you measure 16 inches from the nape, you're getting about a 22 to 24 inch wig. This is very, very long. I can't even imagine what her 20 inches. It's probably like 30 inches. So just note that she measures from the nape, which is great for your budget. Now, I would say that May Wigs is between a budget and a higher end brand. And the reason I say that is because the hairline is so good, the cap is so comfortable. There's a couple things that I feel make it more on the budget side, and that would be the single drawn hair, which is something I just learned about through purchasing this wig. Now, I didn't know about single drawn or double drawn wigs, so I didn't think to ask her. So if you ask her, she will openly admit that they're single drawn. There's no issue with her being transparent. And there's nothing wrong with a single drawn wig if that's what your budget affords, but there is some things you need to know when we're talking about a single drawn wig. And so what I'm going to say about that is when you have a single drawn wig, it is very dense on top with a lot of shorter hair up here, and then the ends are thinner. And what I learned is that you cannot thin out the top. You can't have someone thin out the top, because if you do that, the ends are going to get even thinner. So that is something you need to be aware of when ordering from May Wigs or when ordering from any company that has single drawn hair. One of the things you'll note it's hard to know, and really the brand should be able to tell you that, but not all brands are going to be 100% transparent. But May is, she's complete, I'm sorry, her name is Lydia. May, I think, was her mother, but her name is Lydia, the owner, and she's very transparent that they're single drawn. So that's not what, it's just, you need to know what it is, and I did not know what it is. So for me, this is a very dense top, very, very heavy up here, very kind of poofy up here, and then thinner ends. And I thought, well, I'll just go get it thinned out, but actually I can't get it thinned out because then the ends will be even thinner. So that is really important for something for you to keep in mind. Single drawn and double drawn is very complicated. So some brands will say that their wigs are single drawn if they're not at least 50% double drawn. And this is getting really complicated, but I will say that 50% double drawn is what you want to be looking for. And what that means is if you have a 20-inch wig, you don't want any hair in the wig to be less than 10 inches. That's the 50%. So it's a complicated thing. I think that's one of the reasons it's not talked about a lot. That's why it's not on people's radar. Excuse me, but I'm all about education here. And again, there is nothing wrong with a single drawn wig. You just have to know what you're purchasing. It is very dense on top. It is poofy on top. The ends are thinner. However, they're also less expensive. So this wig, and it is very long, and the hair does not tangle. It's very nice hair, silky smooth hair. For this incredibly long length is about $1,200. That for custom colored wig of this length is a lower price, much lower. If I was to go with a double drawn wig from one of the luxury brands that is gonna, I mean, this is almost 24, it was very long. It's about 24 inches based on how it falls on me. I would be paying over, over $2,000 for custom colored wig this long. Maybe for some of the smaller companies, 16 to 1800, but quite a bit more than 1200. So it's not that there's anything wrong with single drawn. It's just, it's gonna be a little bit different, and you have to know what you're getting, and you have to be okay with a poofier top. I personally like my wigs much flatter on top. This cap fits me better than any cap I own, even my wig sheet, which is, I love my wig sheets, and those caps fit me incredible. This cap fits me even better. I gave her my very specific measurements, and she does most of her wigs are custom, and she'll ask you for 6 different measurements. Most companies just ask you for 3. And I have to say the cap fit and the cap comfort on this are amazing. Now I have gray hair, so there's always going to be a little bit sticking out, but this comes much farther down for me than a lot, and it doesn't cover my ear at all. It just fits me so well. Usually I have problems with them going over my ear, and I usually don't get this much coverage down here either. I always have a little bit of gray sticking out. Like, that's just inevitable because my hair is short and I have a low hairline. But the comfort of this cap is phenomenal, and I'm going to take it off and show it to you in a little bit. But first, I want to zoom in on this fantabulous hairline, which is one of the biggest selling points for May Wigs. And I really want to get all these little hairs out of the way so you can see how beautiful this hairline is. I mean, it looks like it's growing out of my head, right? And you will see a lot more of those short hairs when you have single drawn. Look at that. That is flawless. That is a flaw. And I am the pickiest on hairlines, and this is one of the best I've seen. It is fantastic. She is great at doing a hairline, I have to say. Now I'm going to take off the cap and we're going to look at that. One thing I really love about this wig is I'm able to get a really far left side part because you've got your lace going all the way over to the ear tabs. You've got a much bigger parting space up here than I see on most of the wigs that I buy. Usually my wefts are starting, an inch more over. So I love that. The cap is so comfortable. This is the one with ear tabs, and you can order it with ear tabs or without, and I always have to have ear tabs. They have silicone strips on the ear tabs and combs. Okay, you have an extended nape, and there is some silicone on the nape, and a nice big nape comb, which is nice, and your bra hook adjusters. There is also silicone on the back here. So this cap would work really well for someone with or without hair. The silicone really helps it stay in place here, and even on the ear tabs. Nice big parting space. You've got your full mono top with an extra layer of lace back here. It's a really, really phenomenal cap. I love, it's so comfortable. It fits me so well. And I always like a bigger nape comb back here too if I'm going to use them. For me, I would remove these. I don't really need them. All right, let's talk about the color. What I have to tell you is that this was colored from a 613, which is a bleach blonde base, meaning that it was all blonde when it started. Now, you will notice that there are darker pieces, more vibrant pieces here. And you will also notice up here where you're getting into the root to transition to the red, that there are blotchy spots where the blonde is peeking through. Now, really on both sides. If you look at it, you'll see that the ends are getting much lighter than this top part up here. So the color is not even. And we'll look at that in the light outdoors as well. The color's not even, and the reason for that is because it was a bleach blonde done with one color application on a bleach blonde of a red, a vibrant red. And I know a lot about red hair, and I know that you have to do multiple color applications when you're going from a blonde base to a vibrant red. Now I did talk to her about the color, and she said she had to leave it at one color application to give the peachy tones. I told her that the color did have issues being, the same color throughout, but it was a custom that was non-refundable. I personally would have appreciated her offering to fix the color, but that did not happen. And again, I can only go off my experience, and I will say that I'm gonna have to get this colored because it hasn't even been washed yet. And the color is really not even. You see these bright pieces here and then how light it is down here. It's not even. Now, I could get away with wearing it. It's not like it's horrendous, but if it's already at a fade here and there's already blonde peeking through and I haven't even washed it, when you're dealing with reds, imagine one wash and the color's gonna be gone. So that is where I'm gonna keep it 100% transparent with you. Do I think she makes incredible hairlines? Absolutely. Do I think her caps are incredibly comfortable? Absolutely. But I do think that the particular color job done on this wig, and that's all I can go off of, was not satisfactory for me personally. Now, some of you may be okay with it. I would say that if you go with darker colors with her, you're not gonna have this issue. I've talked to quite a few other people about her wigs, and they haven't had issues with the color. So this is a wig that went from a blonde to a vibrant, and it needed more than one color application, in my opinion, to get an even color. So I will have to do that with my own funds to get the color to really be more even. So I'm going to show you this color outside and let you look at the color outside as well. Okay, here it is in front of my slider, and you can see how some of that blonde is peeking through up here. And you see how vibrant it is here, and then how the blonde is kind of blending down here. There's kind of a big difference between what's going on here and what's going on here. It's still a gorgeous color. I'm not saying it's not a gorgeous color. It's beautiful. It's just not even. And I know that with only one color application, it's gonna need color maybe even before I wash it. It's a beautiful color. It's just not an even color job. So here's my takeaways and final thoughts on May wigs. I would go with the darker color. Even if you want reds, go with a little bit of a darker red. I wouldn't go with the pastels or the super light vibrance from this particular brand, just based on my experience, me personally. Make sure you are okay with single drawn hair with a denser top, with more short hairs that poke out. You'll have to tame them, and that you're okay knowing you can't fix that dense top and you will have the thinner ends. I think that her hairlines are impeccable. I think the comfort of the cap is impeccable. I am not saying not to give May wigs a try, because I think that there's a lot of great things about May wigs. My personal experience is that the vibrant color was an issue as far as blotchiness, as I stated, and that the single drawn, which is no fault of hers, I just didn't realize, because all my other wigs are at least 50% double drawn, that I was gonna get that poofy top. And I didn't think to ask the question, and that's what I'm here for. If you want a beautiful, silky, the hair's great, the cap's great, impeccable hairline for a lower price, there is nothing wrong with single drawn wigs, and that is an option for you. And I am totally in support of you giving May wigs a try. It's just that I'm always going to give you my 100% transparent opinion on everything that I review here. Don't forget, as always, to subscribe to my channel, and I hope you continue watching my reviews, and I'll see you at the next one.